What was the inspiration behind 99% of ads don't have a face on it, but you built such a familiarity around your own brand, and everybody knows you, and they know SBA loans, and they know you as a personnel, you know, like with what you do. What was the inspiration behind saying, I'm going to put my face on the ad, put it in the Ami, Mishpa, and every magazine that you can find, you're going to see Yontiv, Yankie Markowitz, and team, and your face is in the corner.
So it was a combination of a few things. One, I realized when I called up somebody and they had no idea who I was. I was either, I'm sorry, am I taking too long?
No, I'm just checking when I started to know not to keep you for longer than about an hour.
So when it first started, when I would call up somebody, let's call it a cold call, or even if somebody said, why don't you call up this and this person, I know they're looking for financing, maybe you could help them, and they don't know who they're talking to. When I would meet somebody in person and they meet me, and in general, whenever you meet somebody, it's always different than when you're on the phone, right?
Yeah.
It's a more personable feeling. You get to see the person's expressions. There's a reason some people speak with their hands, some people speak with their eyes.
Yeah.
So there was twofold. So one more aspect. I'm in the service business, right? I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling you a cup. I'm selling you me, and what can I do for you? So who is this person? Hence, you got to see who I am. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, right? Now you can see it's not a hired model. Oh, the model, no. Right. It's a regular person. And you get to see who that person is, maybe make a connection. You could make a physical connection or a mental connection with the image. And two, when I speak to that person on the phone, even though we never met, many people always say, I feel like I know you. Like everybody says, Friday night I spend with you.
Right.
No, thank you. It's true. It's true. How many people tell me, I don't know what's this rated? But you're always with me in the bathroom.
Right.
I have to remind them, put the toilet seat down. But I get that all the time, and it becomes personable. And you could see that a lot of people started to do that as well. Since then, there's a lot more pictures inside the advertisements, which, if I was an inspiration, I'm more than happy to.
Right.
So it was those things. Again, to make it personal, when I call up somebody, if they've seen my advertisement, whether it's in a Yiddish magazine or it's online or it's on Instagram, they could see who the person is and to understand that there's a connection between us.
Yeah, I find that to be incredible, and I also think that I think that you also have a chaim, so people see that it's you, and they say like, okay, this guy looks like a trustworthy guy. I also saw that you just updated the picture.
Didn't just?
Like a few months ago, or whatever. Very recently.
Yes. A lot of people complain about the ads. No, that it's like some people say go back to the old picture, stick to the picture, but that our ads are done very not professional, and it's true. It's not. I make them myself.
Right. I just saw the Rosh Hashanah one, the honey and the pomegranate. I loved it because I know your game. I know that this is your idea.
It's me. It's simple. And you know what? Somebody, again,
there's no reason.
I don't know who watches this, what language we could use, but if someone comes over to me, and I said this many times, and he says, oh, you're the guy from the army, right? Yeah, I know you. Or you're the guy from the Shpach. Yeah. Why do you have such shitty ads? I said, that's a good question. Let me ask you a question. How do you know to come over to me and ask me why is my ad so not nice?
Right.
Point taken.
Yeah,
right?
I was just going to say, it's not like you're representing like royalty or a law. You're representing a good service. And for that, the ad does the job.
Yeah.
So it's very smart that that's a place where you I guess, cut down on the money, or you're not, I don't even think it's about cutting on the money. It's about going direct.
Once I have the template, let's put this, I didn't cut down on the money because nobody remembers. Before I did this, I spent a lot of money on an ad agency, and I took Mevinim and the professionals, and we put up billboards. I don't know if anybody out there remembers any of that.
But it didn't
I had the advertising, and it didn't yield. Maybe it yielded a phone call or two.
Are you saying
it did not resonate? But
so because it's raw and natural, would you say that it converts?
I think it does.
I think it even works better.
I think it does. Now,
like social media.
The whole army is going to be fill with crappy ads and post-its. People are going to put post-its.
Right.
But there's a thing of recognition. I forgot. I just want to say something. Somebody cut me off. I'm not going to say who. There's the idea of it. I could spend $1 billion on creating, call it a brand. At the end of the day, it's a name.
Yeah.
SBA Loan Group. That's great. But nobody will know who I'm dealing with. Now, when I walk down the street, you could see me and say, oh, and either will remind you to call me, or you could speak to me right there and then. So then I become a walking advertisement.
Right.
And every once in a while, you say I put some other chevra inside some of the pictures.
Right.
Not that everybody wants to be the face over there, and I understand that.
Right.
But I think it's important, like this, when you're in the grocery store, so you think it's a tircha. No, I paid for someone to be able to recognize me that hopefully will come to a loan.
Right.
And it's happened many times.
Right.
You were with me in many places where people
recognize
we were sitting there, a psychologist came over to us, remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, whether it was in Vegas,
In Vegas,
or by different shows, or here in Crown Heights when we walked together.
Well, Crown Heights is not a stira.
Or every time I posted, yeah, I know, but I'm saying every time I posted you on social media, by the way, or on LinkedIn, these videos would go viral, by the way, tens of thousands of views.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
people obviously, no, people do recognize you, and sometimes they're not even sure, that they have to think for a second, like, wow, how am I so, because you didn't go the social media route. For me, it's all about social media. So by the time somebody sees me in person, they're like, I've seen you on the internet. For you, it's like, no, I've seen you on the papers.
Right, we've discussed that.
Interesting.
No, I've seen, back in the day when I had a little bit more time, once in a while I'll take out a video and I'll shoot a small clip, or more, I'm with you. And that's why I do appreciate whenever we do those clips.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to sit and do it.
Right.
And maybe we'll make some more time together. We'll make some more clips.
Yeah.
But
from this podcast, we're going to do nice videos of Hashem.
Oh, Mirza Hashem.
So.
But I have to do more clips, and believe it or not, a little what I do on social media yields results.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
So it does.
And in the Geisha world.
Right. No, but essentially with the paper ads, you're tapping into big community that's not so active on their phones, or doesn't have at all, by the way. Don't forget, it's still in this community probably, you still have 20, 30%, I would say,
I know
don't use phones and whatever.
People always say the WhatsApp statuses.
Yeah.
And, I'm not very big into that.
Exactly. Not everybody has time. It's simple. I mean.
So, but maybe I should try it.
What, social media more?
WhatsApp statuses, I don't know.
Oh, like putting your ad on.
Or putting it on there. I don't know how
it could work. When you post it with a link.
I don't think it works.
Yeah, you
the
put a link.
of the printed ads is it sits there. You're sitting there in Sukkot. You have a few hours to kill,
right.
Or they're going to the bathroom, or whatever they're doing.
Right.
Pull it out.
Right. WhatsApp does have this benefit that if you put up your ad or you put a video of you talking about what you do, people can click a link and either sign up to your status, so they're now seeing every day you're posting. So you're building up a digital platform that's yours. And second of all, they can click to get connected with you. Just like people call you hello, they can also send you a WhatsApp, literally like, hi, I'd like to hear more about the loan.
I was never looking to be a personality, if you will.
No, you don't have to be a personality. They can just be following your business.
Then you got to be on top of that, and I like to
of WhatsApps. You like to take phone calls.
Whenever I stand in front of a mirror, always know before with who you are standing. So when you look in the mirror and you know in front of you, today you're going to post a video, and you don't do it. You got to know who you are, and doesn't mean you can't change, right? We just came through a nice month of preparation of tshuva, tshuva, so we could all change, right? We could all do things. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Okay, absolutely. I'm very curious, how often does it happen that somebody calls you for a loan and they right away go into the question of, by the way, I wanted to tell you, here's my idea. My idea is so-and-so. What's your opinion? Would this idea even work? How many people already called you with this idea? How many people already took a loan to do such a business idea? How often do you become a business coach giving business advice?
I'll say every day. Okay. Every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Every day.
How do you approach it? What do you tell these people? Do you give them the time?
In general, I'm a very curious person. So,
so you want to know?
I don't mind to hear it, especially if it's something not so far-fetched. If somebody's telling me I'm starting to plan a business where I could be a gardener on Mars, once Elon Musk figures out how to get there, that's not for me.
Right.
I won't say today, but different ideas, and I can tell you that there are some businesses out there that, Baruch Hashem, I was able to fund them, meaning that we got them the financing for it, and they would never be able to take it into fruition if we didn't get them the financing.
Right.
So if you don't listen through the end, sometimes they babble on about this idea, and you think it's a startup. I don't deal with startups, but anytime someone calls me for a startup, I listen, and I try to direct them to a place that could maybe be able to help them.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys talking to me about his business he just started, and I'm like, I don't have a chance to say that I can't help you because I don't deal with startups. And he says, so in the third year, I'm like, whoa, I thought you just started. Yeah, we're doing it for 2 years, and now we're in the third year. Oh, okay. So you could have said right away, not for me, hang up the phone, it's not. And then you have people call and Baruch Hashem is busy. Sometimes you have to leave a message. We try to get back to everybody within 24 hours. And leave a message, you're looking for $50,000. Not that it's a number to laugh at. We start at $250,000. So I still call them back.
Right.
I want to give them the time. I don't want them to think that they are not worthy. Explain to them where's your best option to go for that amount, because you don't really need me for $50,000.
They should rather go to the bank or what?
Yes. First of all, I'm taking you to a bank. When somebody comes to me, it's a big misconception. People think that SBA lends you money. SBA doesn't lend you $1. A bank lends you. That's for a different podcast, by the way. But the SBA doesn't lend you any money. A bank has to lend you money. So I'm bringing you to a bank as well. Yeah. But for most people, and you can get it out there now, if you're looking for up to $250,000, even $500,000, the bank that you bank with, 9 out of 10 times is your best option to get the $200,000 to $500,000.
Because they're holding your records, they're seeing the transactions.
Because they have an algorithm. I can't even tell you exactly why they do it, but they have your deposits. It's more than them getting the transaction of your loan. Yeah. They want your banking relationship. Yeah. You're doing $1 million, $2 million in transactions. They want it, and there's a value to them when you go into to keep you there. So for that, they'll appease you and give you $50,000, $200,000. And I'll tell you, probably 7 out of 10 times when I tell someone, I said, go, depending which bank they're banking with, and if I give them another 2 options, and I'll say 40% of people call me back to tell me if they're matzliach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I asked them to, because I'm curious myself. I want to also keep the numbers. 2, they thank me. It's like, so on, can I pay you for your time? Because no, I'm in the business of doing loans. Mr. Hashem, when you're going to go for the $1 million, or the $3 million, or the $10 million, you come back to me and you know that I'm being honest. Right,
absolutely, I love that. How important is money for a business? Because many people will say, like, I didn't open the business because of money. But I feel like no matter whichever industry you are, there's a certain point where you can start even without money. Sometimes it's even just making the research or developing the connections, the relationships, the
So you lost me for a second. What do you mean that I didn't start the business for money? You're talking about
how important it is
for
an average person to start a business.
How important is money?
Yeah.
For most people, it's very important.
For my business, it was never important.
For your business, it's not, right?
Right. I'm a service business, and even though we have a big team, but it's according to how many people I'm serving. That's how many people.
Let's take you as an example.
Yeah.
There are 2 types of use, or 3 types of use. One, you used to work in construction.
Yeah.
Right? You're a contractor. So you worked in construction, you save up some money, and then you're able to go and pursue your career or your passion or what potentially you should be doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But if you're coming out of yeshiva and you don't have money, unless you have Baruch Hashem, your parents who could support you on this endeavor, you have to. Money is very important to that person.
Depending which business.
Even for your business, how long did it take you to make your first money? Meaning your first sale.
Sale came pretty quick. Within the first month or 2, I made 5-6 sales, and that money paid for my car and my food, whatever.
But if you didn't have money saved from your construction, would you be able to do that?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I had maybe $2,000. I didn't have a lot of money saved.
That's money for a bucher.
Yeah, but that wasn't a loan for my business. That's what I'm
No,
trying
no,
to say.
100%. You wouldn't need a loan to start up this business, what you're trying to do. And a lot of times, many people don't need. If you want to start an Amazon business, if you have $500, you go buy some products, you open up an account, and you
Right.
start selling until you. But that's not going to make you real money. In your business, if you get a client for $3,000 or $5,000, whatever the number is, right away it's all to your pocket. Of course, there's hours of work that goes into it.
Okay.
But there's also times that you're chasing somebody who you're not going to get, or takes you longer to get. And if you think about the cost of that sale, is the cost of time.
Right. And time, you
So
need money.
if you were lucky, you're matzliach that right away you got 4 or 5 sales in 2 months. But I don't know how your sales work. If day one they give you all the money, or you first have to do the work. What do?
Yeah, money first. Yeah.
Oh, so then
It's even better.
So you were lucky. Someone says to you, if someone told you in the beginning, if you came to me in the beginning, I would tell you, first let me see the product. You're starting out, right? I'm not coming to you that you want me to. This is one of the first deals I ever did. There's lots of ups and downs, and at the end of the day, he told me that his partner did not think it would happen, and also I didn't think the loan will happen. I said, so why did you do it? He said, because I believed in you, and it was like $10,000. It was probably 8 months worth of work. If you calculated the dollars, it was maybe $50 an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
And he says, but I believed in you. But it took me 8 months to make that money, and it was not money, right? If that was the only thing I was working on, I wouldn't do it. But I would say it's one of the first big deals that I worked on. And it's funny how that turns into a snowball, because once you do one person, and you're lucky that you had 4 or 5 right away, but once you do one person, it goes to the next. I always tell all of my employees, every loan you close is a potential 3 to 5 loans.
Oh, wow.
Every person you speak to is potentially another 3 people. Because there's always going to be 5 people that are going to know about that. And hopefully, if you're dealing with somebody who's in business, the other 5 people are in business.
Right.
And everybody needs money in business. Right? Now, you to start, you didn't need Baruch Hashem. Maybe now you do. Or maybe in...
Meaning if I want to upscale, is that where I would need
Meaning if you
money?
want to upscale, if let's say you wanted to buy a studio now, have a professional studio, upgrade your camera system, upgrade your lighting system, right? Upgrade your wardrobe, maybe get you a sweatshirt that has sleeves, right? I don't know, maybe it costs more. So you want to upgrade, you need money for that. Now, it could be you save the money and you don't need it, but people like to leverage. Right. You want to maybe also invest in something at the same time.
Because I feel that the money is going to make it, is going to 10x my business.
If you wanted to buy a studio right now, SBA offers the best financing for owner-occupied property, meaning for a business that wants to buy a property.
Purchase a property.
So I get you 100% financing. I get you 90% financing.
Wow.
So
well, is it worth, by the way, to buy myself an office instead of renting it?
Everybody is different. That's longer conversation. How much time do we have?
Yeah, right.
As many times as someone calls me and say it doesn't make sense for you to buy. Unless you really want it for the investment. And if you look around us, you live in Lakewood or Tom's River. Sorry, that's like the Kodesh Kodashim of Lakewood, right? You live in Tom's River, fine. If you look, I'm sure in Lakewood, but if you come to Crown Heights, where I'm from, if you go to Williamsburg, go to Borough Park, and it's at Reiche Gvirim Baruch Hashem, and you find out what do they have? Oh, they have real estate here and real estate there. And why do they have that real estate? Because they had a business. They were schlepping schmattes in the 80s and in the 70s, and they needed a warehouse. And they bought the warehouse.
Oh, wow.
And why? Because they're tired of moving around. They're worried the landlord's going to raise the rent. They bought their warehouse. And all of a sudden, that's worth $100 million. So if somebody has the nachshava that I'm doing this for long term, that where I buy it, typically in an industrial area, value goes up in many places, better than others like New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and Pennsylvania, and California, Los Angeles, Florida, Texas. These places are growing and growing and growing, and people need warehousing. And soon Amazon's going to buy everybody, so maybe. Yeah,
exactly. So how often does it happen? Because you're like a shark. So how often does it happen that somebody pitches you the idea and you actually invest your own money into their idea instead of giving them a loan?
It happens sometimes.
Wow, that's interesting.
It happens sometimes. Sometimes people aren't financeable. Sometimes people have a good idea or a business that they want to buy.
Would you give them a loan from your own money without becoming a partner?
I've done loans in the interim, meaning the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's not maybe you edit that out. That's not something that I'm looking to do. There are times where I've lent someone money. It doesn't happen often. There are times where I've invested in businesses. It has to be that someone's looking for a partner or a loan. If it doesn't work out for a loan, and it's something I'd be interested in, either they've asked me or I've asked them. I say, "Are you interested in a partner?"
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, okay. I'm also interested in being a partner if you want." But at first, let's try to get financing if it's possible.
Do you
Sometimes
think we can be matzliach with a Jewish Shark Tank?
You want me to be your partner?
I'm thinking now. Maybe we can do a Jewish Shark Tank.
They've tried a few times in different. I was never on the Shark Tank. Actually, I had one of my partners were on a Shark Tank idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we actually took up on one of the projects. It never came through, but they tried a couple of times. But either it's embarrassment that people are shy or maybe fearful of what people are going to think about their idea if they go in front of an audience, especially unser chevre, our own. You're mingling amongst your own crowd. It's not somewhere on television that no one knows can't touch you. But I think isn't there something in AMI?
It used to be Biz Tank. I don't think it's still on. But
my friends on there also.
Yeah, there used to be a few business ideas and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't. I think it would be nice if they would continue something like that. Especially there are many. Look, people invest in businesses all the time.
Right.
It happens. I see because I look at people's tax returns. I see this, and what is this? What is that?
It's an investment in a business.
Investment. Tried. Some came to me with the idea. It's not working out. Baruch Hashem, it is working out. And there's some that are Baruch Hashem very much.
Yeah, I'm
saying.
saying.
Company I saw Baruch Hashem withhold for over $100 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I funded them twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Throughout the process?
And I'm very curious. I asked him, we helped him that he didn't have to sell part of his company instead of getting a partner. Yeah.
It's impressive. No, so I hear the podcast. I love inspiring people. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say, that in many scenarios, you don't need money to start a business. You can just start and do like I did, to get your first sale and use that money to grow.
I just want to say that's,
I understand.
There's money that you needed, whether it's putting gas in the car to get to that meeting.
Right.
Who paid for your cell phone?
Right.
Who paid for your tolls?
Right.
Who paid for the lunch that you took before the meeting? And who paid for the celebration dinner afterwards?
Yeah.
That costs money.
Right. And the second part of inspiring people is that, yes, they can come up with an idea and just share it with the world and potentially do their... more than making money, I think it's about people opening their own thing and being inspirational. It's
When I started SB Loan Group, I needed a lot of money. To me, relatively a lot of money, talking about over $100,000. The infrastructure that had to be put into place, and the hires. Day one, you need a back office.
Right.
If you don't have the money, it could be a great idea.
Right.
It is a good idea. But you need to have those funds to start that. Now, I'm not the guy to come to start a business. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It's not what I do.
Right.
But people, to one form or another, you need. It could be $50, right? See, that's not money. To many people, it's a lot of money, and to many people, they don't have that extra $50.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So it's all relative.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Very nice. What did you...
By the way, the spill-proof works. I took a drink by mistake without opening it.
Okay. Okay, so I want to talk about things that can relate to a lot of people. I know that you travel. I mean, maybe half of the year you're not at home, right?
Some years, like yes. Some years, no. It all depends on the year and the season. So this year, for example, we missed a few shows during Yom Tov.
Interesting. Okay, right, because it changes. So I'm curious. I know why you travel, because you promote. You go to these big shows and you set up a booth
I travel.
for LBA.
Yes. Yeah.
For I'm sorry, SBA.
SBA.
And but my question to you is, what do you enjoy to travel? Do you?
I
What's
still
the
enjoy to
experience
travel.
like?
I still enjoy it. Sometimes no. Like I could tell you right now.
Right. So when don't you enjoy it?
Here's-
Let's start there.
So I'll give you an example. I was going to do this twice in about 6 weeks, which I changed. So I had a show to go to. I was going to go Sunday. Monday night, take a red eye
Oh my
because
God.
I had a chasana on Tuesday,
Okay.
and I'd have to fly to the chasana. Not here in New York. It was in Montreal, and now, Mirza Hashem after Yontif, I have the same scenario, except the chasana is on Wednesday and the show is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday red eye,
Wow.
and then flying to Montreal.
Yeah. To those
And
people that
then-
don't know what a red eye is.
Oh, those people don't know what
What's
red
a
eye
red
is.
eye?
A red eye is when you take a flight at night, typically between 9 and 12, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m., and you fly the whole night, but it's not a whole night because it's typically a 4 to 4.5 hour flight. So until they close the lights on the plane, it's an hour into it. So you basically have about 2.5 hours maybe of darkness if you want to sleep. And you arrive at 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on what flight you take. So it's not a sleep. It's just a tease. It's a tease. It's like, okay, you could sit in this chair for a little bit, close your eyes, and then
Right.
we'll keep bothering you, and they'll have to wake you up if you want to drink. I don't know if you want to drink or
Yeah.
not. So it's not a fun flight. I try to avoid them as much as possible. I'm boring you?
No.
Okay.
It's just so late.
Yeah, what is it? It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take a red eye, I'm going to fly there. Then I'll come back for Shabbos, and then I'm flying again the next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So while I still enjoy, and there's still, to me, it's already, what's the word? It's a muscle memory. You know, you're doing this, you have your Seder, you have your to-go package, you know, you have toiletries and set up. You get to the show, you know, people always say, oh, I go to Las Vegas, I go to Chicago, oh, these are fun places. It's not. You were with me, you saw what it was like.
Yeah. It's fully
It's
business.
in the morning, you're at the show at 9 or 10 o'clock, but you have to remember you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning because you're 3 hours behind if you're in Vegas. If you're in Chicago, you're 2 hours behind. You're, no, 1 hour behind. In Utah, it's 2 hours behind. And you have to deal with things, you have to try to get as much as possible done from the early morning till the show starts because you want to be able to be at the show. That's
Right.
why you're there. Why do I go to these places? It's not about promoting myself. It's I want to meet business owners. I have a specific clientele. I'm not selling cottage cheese.
Right.
Anybody could use a thing of cream cheese. J&J has everybody. If you have one family, you have 5 to 10 people in the family. You
Yeah.
have one person. Everybody could use that cream cheese. Okay, if we're on a diet, you have light cream cheese.
Right.
I need the business owner.
Right.
I go to places where I have the biggest chance of me meeting those business owners.
And these shows are effective? Side question.
Some yes, some no. If
Depends.
they're not effective, we don't go again.
Right.
Right? One year I did over 60 shows.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot if you calculate that.
Yeah. It's like one every week
Yes.
or even
I
more.
didn't go to all of them personally.
Some
Divide
you
and
send your
conquer.
team, but
But
you guys have meetings to discuss. Or you see the data, no? Every person that calls.
we see the data.
Right.
You meet the people. You know, one of the most successful shows that I ever had.
Yeah.
I don't go to anymore. That show, at the show, I signed up 5 or 6 people. Signed up physically.
Okay, why
so
don't
it never
you go
happens
there?
because none of those deals closed.
Wow, mamash. So you were able to see that the calculation.
It's the industry is a good industry. People need money, and they're
But
making a lot of money, but
they
they're not
can't close.
showing money.
Not showing money. What's the most successful show that you've been to?
It's a mixture. One year it could be the Boss Show. One year it could be the Kosher Fest. One year it could be
Wow.
ASD, CES. It could be an attorney show. It could be the Satmar show.
Wow.
Every year it's different.
But as long as
You
it
can never know.
as long as a
You
few
have to do
leads
the
come in,
Veda, you have to
Right.
make your keli,
right,
and was the Eibusher likt rein, what God puts inside, it's
Right.
up to God.
right. Okay, back to travel because this can be fun.
Yeah.
What's
You like to travel?
So it's an interesting question. The idea of travel sounds to me fun, but it does get like under my skin. It does, scare me a little bit. It gives me a little bit of anxiety, like going somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to be, who I'm going to meet.
So I was speaking to my friend.
I like to be home. Home is my comfort zone. It's my safe zone, and that's not so good. I understand.
No, it's
But,
very good.
but I'm
Who doesn't want to
expanding.
be
I'm
home?
trying.
Everybody wants to be home. But the travel, if you're going to travel for leisure, then adrabah, it's always,
Yeah.
it's fun. The way I just speaking to a friend of mine, he asked me if I'm going for Sukkot to Eretz Yisrael, and I said no, I'd like to go for Pesach. Sukkot, I love to be in Crown Heights.
Yeah.
Crown Heights is fantastic.
The
Sukkot,
energy,
I'll
it's
say
lit.
the energy is lit.
Yeah.
So I say lit, it's
Yeah.
lit. Crown Heights has an energy in Tishrei that you don't find anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. And I've been in Israel, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Australia, and on Sukkot we have Talucha in Lubavitch. I don't know if they do that in Tom's River.
What's Talucha?